You're driving down Highway 27, the Florida humidity clinging to your skin like a wet shroud. The rhythmic thump-thump of your tires on the pavement is the only sound until, suddenly, the rhythm changes. A jarring vibration rattles the steering wheel. Your heart sinks. You pull over onto the grassy shoulder, just feet away from the dark, still waters of a drainage canal. You step out into the heat, cursing your luck as you look down at a tire that is rapidly hissing its last breath. Then, a pair of headlights cuts through the twilight. A car slows. A man leans out, handsome, well-dressed, flashing a smile that feels like a lifeline. "Need some help?" he asks. You feel a wave of relief wash over you. You think you're being rescued. You have no way of knowing that you are exactly where he wants you. You are the next chapter in the flat tire murders. In the mid-1970s, South Florida was a land of rapid expansion and hidden dangers. Between February 1975 and January 1976, a predator, or perhaps a pair of them, turned the scenic canals of Broward and Dade counties into a dumping ground for the young and the vulnerable. The spree began in earnest with Judith Ann, Judy, Esterling, whose body was pulled from a canal in February 1975. But it was the discovery of Ronnie Sue Gorlin and Elise Rapp that gave the Phantom Killer his chilling moniker. In July 1975, Gorlin's car was found in a shopping center with a slashed tire. Days later, Rapp's car was found at a Hollywood mall with a deflated tire. Both women were discovered in the same canal, their lives extinguished after horrific assaults. The pattern was unmistakable. The killer wasn't just finding victims, he was creating them by sabotaging their vehicles and posing as a good Samaritan. The list of victims grew at a sickening pace. It wasn't just adult women. The killer targeted teenagers, some as young as 14. Barbara Susan Schreiber and Belinda Darlene Zederauer, two 14-year-old best friends found side by side along a canal, shot to death. Nancy Lee Fox, struck with a blunt object and choked before being consigned to the water. Robin Leslie Losh, a 14-year-old girl spotted by a vacationing family. Only her arm was visible, sticking out of the canal water. By the end of the spree, investigators were looking at a staggering 12 to 35 potential victims. The suspect was described as a Jack the Ripper of the Everglades, a white male, athletic, highly intelligent, and devastatingly charming. He was a ghost who moved through the suburbs and shopping malls, leaving a trail of broken families and missing posters in his wake. For decades, the flat tire murders sat on a shelf, gathering dust as the lead investigators retired or passed away. It seemed the killer had won, until the science of the 21st century finally caught up. In August 2023, the Broward County Sheriff's Office dropped a bombshell. Using advanced DNA testing on clothing saved from the Schreiber and Zederauer crime scene, they identified a primary suspect, Robert Clark Keebler. He was a known felon who had died in 2019, taking his secrets to the grave. The investigation didn't stop there. In May 2025, authorities identified a second man, Lawrence Stein, who died in 2005, as an accomplice. Were they responsible for all 35 deaths? The flat tire killer utilized a method of operation, MO, known as the ruse of the helpful stranger. This requires a high degree of organized offender characteristics. Premeditation. Slashing a tire is a controlled act of sabotage. It forces the victim into a state of vulnerability and gratitude simultaneously. Power assurance and control. Unlike blitz attackers who strike with immediate force, this killer enjoyed the negotiation phase, the conversation, the building of false trust, and the moment the victim realized the hero was actually the monster. Geography as a weapon. Using canals as disposal sites isn't just about hiding bodies, it's about depersonalization. To this killer, the victims were objects to be discarded in the infrastructure of the city. The partnership. The revelation of an accomplice, Keebler and Stein, suggests a shared psychotic disorder, or a dominant, submissive predatory bond. In these pairings, one often acts as the stalker, while the other provides the muscle, or the psychological escalation. It seems impossible that a series of murders involving dozens of victims could fade from the public consciousness, but several factors contributed to the silence. 1. The Ted Bundy shadow. During the same era, Ted Bundy was terrorizing the United States and eventually Florida. His high-profile trial and charismatic villainy sucked all the true crime oxygen out of the room, overshadowing local cases like the flat tire murders. 2. Victim profiling. Many of the victims were young women from working-class backgrounds, massage parlor workers, or hitchhikers. In the 1970s, lifestyle often led to less media coverage and a blame the victim mentality in law enforcement. 3. The resolution gap. Because the suspects were only identified via DNA after they were already dead, there was no trial of the century. There was no face for the public to hate on the nightly news. The case ended with a quiet press conference rather than a gavel. Today, the canals of Florida are quiet. But for the families of the dozen, or 35, women who never came home, the hiss of a flat tire will always be the sound of a nightmare.